Are you looking for the perfect cake for fall? Well, we are making this beautiful pumpkin spice cake that is shaped like a pumpkin. My name is Alyena and welcome to my kitchen. So to start making our bundt cake, we are actually making 2 bundt cakes, so this is a double recipe. In our mixer, we have 2 cups of softened butter. This is 4 sticks of butter. And to that, we can add in our sugar. I have 2 cups of granulated white sugar, along with 2 cups of brown sugar. And now we can mix this together until it's light and fluffy. Now that our butter is completely mixed in with our sugars, I'm going to scrape down the sides so everything is combined in. And we can start adding in our eggs. We are going to crack in 1 egg at a time while our mixer is on low speed. So let's just scrape down the sides. That is one thing, when I am using my, flicked a little bit. When I'm using my KitchenAid, I find that sometimes it's not all mixed together, so I do like really scraping down the sides. Let's not do that. So on low speed, we can start to add in our eggs. I'll use this bowl for my dirty eggs. And we are using 8 eggs today, so we have a lot of eggs going into our cake. And our final egg, our number 8. There we go. I'm gonna give my hands a quick rinse to get off the egg. There we go. Put a little towel off to the side. And now that our eggs are completely mixed in, we can add in our pumpkin. This is 100% pumpkin puree, and we are adding in 3 cups. Okay, there we go. We have in our pumpkin. And we can add in 4 teaspoons of vanilla extract and give this a stir so it's completely combined. I have 6 cups of all-purpose flour. To our flour, we can add in 4 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice. You can buy this at your supermarket or you can make it homemade. I made mine homemade by using 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of ginger, as well as half a teaspoon of nutmeg and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves. Next, we can add in 2 tablespoons of baking powder, along with 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And now we can whisk this together. And now with our mixer at low speed, we can go back and forth between incorporating our flour and incorporating 2 cups of buttermilk. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so now I am just scraping down the sides of my bowl, making sure that everything is combined. And I can actually take it off of my mixer now because we are going to fold in our last ingredients. And this is a lot of batter. Our last ingredient that we are adding in is our pecans. We have 2 cups of chopped pecans, and we are going to fold these in. And here we have our bundt pan. I also greased it with butter and then added in some flour, and then I shake the flour around and then pour it out. And this just helps ensure that our bundt cake does not stick, because that would be a real bummer. Now we can take half of our batter and pour it in our bundt cake. So now that I've used half of my batter and I've put it in my bundt pan, we can pop it in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 50 to 60 minutes, or until you poke it with a toothpick and it comes out clean. Now I do not have 2 bundt pans, but if I did, I could bake them both at the same time. So once that cake is out of the oven, you want to let it cool for at least 10 minutes in the pan before flipping it out and baking your second bundt cake. And I'll see you tomorrow once our cakes are cooled and we can start creating our pumpkin-shaped cake. I'm back and it's a new day. Our cakes are fully cooked and cooled and we can start making our frosting. So here I have my mixer, and in it I have 16 ounces or 2 blocks of cream cheese. Stop, I realized when I was icing my cake that I did not have enough icing. So instead of 2 blocks of cream cheese, I used 3 blocks. 1.5 cups of butter, 6 cups of icing sugar or powdered sugar, as well as 5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And to that, I can add in 2 sticks or 1 cup of butter. And now we are going to beat this together until it's creamy and totally combined. Also, you want your butter and cream cheese to be at room temperature, so it's not super soft, but it's also not hard, so that it can cream together. You can also add in your vanilla extract at this point. You can add anywhere between 2 to 3 teaspoons of vanilla. I'm using 3 teaspoons because I love a vanilla flavor. Now we can slowly start adding in our powdered sugar. I've sifted all of my powdered sugar just to ensure that there's no clumps in it, because you do not want a clumpy frosting. And I have 4 cups of powdered sugar, so I'm just going to slowly add this in while my mixer is on low speed. Alternatively, if you're doing this by hand and you don't have a mixer, I add in 1 cup at a time, beat it completely, and then add in my next cup. Now at this point you do want to get in and just scrape down the sides to ensure that everything is getting mixed in, especially on the bottom. Now that our frosting is finished, I've removed some of it and put it in a bowl because this is going in the center of our cake, and we are dyeing the rest, which is the majority of our frosting, orange. But if you want all of your frosting to be orange, you don't have to do this step. So I'm going to start by adding a little bit of orange food coloring. A little goes a long way. I just kept adding more food coloring to my icing and scraping down the sides in between until I got the perfect orange pumpkin color. I've just moved my frosting inside because it is a really hot day out today and you do not want your frosting to melt on you. So now I have my cake out of the fridge. It's cooled overnight, and we do want to cut off the top just so it's a really even layer. This is the time you get a snack. You can try the cake. So here we have both of our cakes. I've cut off the top so it's an even layer. And when you do flip your cake, you want to make sure that the grooves are lined up. So now I'm just adding my white icing to the center of my cake, and I do want this to be a nice thick layer. For me, a cake is only as good as the icing. I always feel stiffed when I get a cake and there's not enough icing on it. I ended up bringing my pumpkin inside to ice because when I was trying to do it outside, it was such a hot day that the icing was just melting off. So I started by doing a crumb coat. This is a thin coat around the entire cake, and then I put it in my fridge for about 15 minutes to cool it. And then I iced the whole cake. I also filled the center hole full of candy corn and little pumpkins, added icing so that it was covered, so when you cut into this cake there is a surprise inside. Placed it back in the fridge and then brought it back out to sculpt it. So here I have my fondant stem, and I'm just going to place it on top of my pumpkin. My mom actually made this and it's so cute, I love it. And she actually made a few other little vines as well as a few little leaves. We used brown fondant and then we shaped it and sprayed it with edible sprays so it had some contrast and colors. If you can't find fondant, you can also use an ice cream cone and put green icing on it. It's just up to what you can find. And here we have our finished cake. It's absolutely beautiful. And now the most important part is the taste test. This is one of my favorite bundt cakes because it is so moist, and for such a big cake it really packs in the flavor as well as that cream cheese frosting is absolutely delicious, and it looks pretty beautiful if I say so myself. So please let me know if you try this recipe and what you think in the comments down below. And if you want to see some more of my seasonal recipes, there should be a playlist right here or over here. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next week. Bye for now.